How do we plan a video? Just like with static design, we can lay out and sketch our video outline before we even hit the video editor or motion design program. This can save us a ton of time in the development process by avoiding unnecessary trial and error with our animations, transitions, and more. When you sketch out a static poster design, for example, we think about where the headline might go. Maybe we feature a photo, we see if we need multiple photos, we can block out our areas where the necessary type will be, and we have some sort of call to action somewhere on the flyer or poster. With crafting videos, we do the same thing, but with the added element of the timeline. Now we have to think about time moving and things changing as it moves along. This added element can be tough for those who are used to just working with static designs. But the planning and sketching process is still the same. You've seen storyboards associated with cartoons or fully animated movies. They feature set blocks of time told through a series of sketch thumbnails called panels. You will want to set your panel size about the same dimensions of your final video. So if you plan on doing a 1080 by 1080 pixel Instagram video or a video that will have a 1:1 aspect ratio, then plan on keeping your panels roughly that size so we can have a good idea of the space we have for our elements. I have a downloadable resource, a storyboard template for you in a few different aspect ratios. I'll be using this in the upcoming example in this lesson, and you can for projects in this course. You can print these out and sketch them out with pen or pencil, or you could do what I'm going to do, which is bring a JPEG into a digital sketching app, in this case Procreate, and I'm going to sketch on top of that template just some general rough ideas. The best way to learn storyboarding is to walk through a quick example. In this case, will be for a 13-second Instagram Facebook ad for a local gym. Let's use our 4:5 aspect ratio storyboard template to get started. As we know, the 4:5 aspect ratio gives us the most screen real estate. After talking with the client, we have some basic text we need to work into the ad, and also an ending call to action that prompts the viewer to sign up for a promotion. On the side, let's quickly jot down some of the basic text we need to work into our ad. It's up to us to determine when these words are shown, for how long, and how the text comes onto and off the screen, which is called a transition. Let's think about our target audience. This will be a young audience who are trying to get them inspired to sign up for a high-energy 30-day exercise program. I'm thinking really quick, dynamic word transitions as well as dynamic visual transitions. Our total ad length will be about 13 seconds long, so we need to work through the required text and visuals quickly. That first scene or panel is so critical, so why not throw our first phrase, "get fit the fun way," in there in the first second. Center aligned along with some sort of visual. Anything to add that first attention-grabbing element. For the transition onto the next panel, let's do a quick transition and quickly move to the next scene. For seconds 2 through 4, let's quickly display several fast visuals of people in action. We just threw some text at them in the first second, so let's not have any text in this next panel to give them a natural reading break. For a transition, let's keep them quick and edgy. We could do an RGB split effect or a glitch effect. Something that can be done in less than a half a second, but adds a little bit of pop of color to the screen. Moving on to the next scene, let's introduce another required line of type. How about shred fat? Since we already introduced some visuals with people, let's keep it to text only this time and add some very slight movement to our type. Let's also flash one more line of type, make friends, so that this 1-second clip has 2 high impact type visuals or typography visuals. For our next panel, let's keep this dynamic by introducing some action shots, but let's include a balance of women and men. So if we feature women in the start, let's feature more men in this section to keep it diverse with representation, since we are targeting both male and females. This can last for 2 seconds, so seconds 6 and 7. For the next panel, let's finish up our offer by presenting the next 2 lines of type, which is setting up our final scene and call to action. Let's have them be shown quickly, similar to the other type in the first few scenes, maybe with some distorted type animation to break it up from the other transitions we did earlier. Our last scene is the most important call to action panel. Let's feature our final required call to action typography, but let's also have this last a full 2 seconds. It sounds quick, but in a 13-second video ad, it's a good portion of the video. We'll have a lot happening in those first 11 seconds of the ad, so let's have this be more static text and one without a lot of movement so the viewer can really read the higher amount of screen text and the call to action. It's a little bit longer than what we've been presenting in prior panels or scenes. And that's a wrap. With some ads, you're restricted by time. With others, you might be able to expand this out past 13 seconds. But remember, sometimes shorter ads can be more effective with certain ad types, like this one. Once you put this together with editing software, we'll be able to fine-tune the timing, maybe even adding that additional second or two at the end if needed, so don't worry about the super-duper fine details. This is the storyboarding stage. This is mostly for us to get ideas and a rough sketch and layout for how the video is supposed to flow. So there's your example of storyboarding in action. And this was a really short, simple ad to start things off with. Things do get a little bit more complex when you animate longer videos, but also ones that have a lot of elements moving on and off the screen. Take, for instance, this motion clip. The same method applies. Create your panels about the same size as the final clip and start to jot down your desired text in the notes of that panel. Now we can sketch out ideas for transitions between words and also how long they stay on the screen and how they enter and exit the screen. You can even do the same for a logo animation. Want a spinning arrow? How far does it go up? How many times does it spin? What happens after the arrow comes in? How does the text fade? All this can be sketched out quickly in a matter of a few minutes and can give you a huge head start in your project planning. So you can print off and hand sketch your storyboard panels or use a digital sketching app like I did, Procreate, to quickly sketch on top of your JPEG your ideas. Let this be a fun planning process full of sketching, brainstorming, and concept development. I have a quick little student challenge for you. I want you to storyboard and sketch out a concept for a 10-second video ad for Instagram or Facebook for a product or service of your choice. You can choose an already existing product like a new Starbucks drink or base it on a made-up product or service of your choosing. I want you to feature a call to action at the end that prompts the viewer to take some sort of action. Are storyboards required for every video creation you do? Not really, but they are very helpful in getting that brainstorming process going and laying out a general plan for your motion videos.